Strider Wilson, what's up? How you doing?
Dude, friggin' great, dude. What up, bro? Fired up to be here right now, dude. Joel, thanks for having me, dude. Ready to cut it up and flesh it out, dude.
Oh man, well I'm fired up. The fact that you're fired up to join us on the program. So how's everything going on where you're at?
Dude, it's all good, man. I'm in Los Feliz, which is in Los Angeles, if people aren't familiar. And dude, LA's back. Traffic is
Okay.
back. People are moving around, dude. I was out walking the dog with my dank fiance, dude, and just I'm cruising around. People are out. The sun's out. It's nice. So people are starting to get vaccinated, which gets me fired up, dude. So we can get back to raging soon. And so I'm feeling good, dude. I mean, definitely, we're not out of the woods yet, but
Yeah.
but things are solid, dude.
You kept yourself pretty busy because I saw that you actually did a stand-up drive-in show. So how did you like doing that?
Dude, it was a lot of fun, dude. Freaking Chad and JT hooked it up. This place down in Escondido. Dang, I'm blanking on the dude's name that set it up, but very nice group of guys down there, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was people like pulled into this. San Diego's great, dude, because uh, their park and their drinking in the park rules are a little bit different. Like in LA, it's like no go, dude. But
Mm.
in San Diego, like if you get a permit, you can drink in the park. Like, dude, it takes me back to my slosh
Okay.
ball days in college, putting a keg at second base, just having some fun, dude. These parks are great. These dudes have a permit down there. I think it was like the first drive-in show. It sort of started a trend in
Okay.
SoCal, and this was like you could really do it all year round. I mean, it's SoCal, so a little bit of rain's
Yeah.
the only thing that's going to stop you. It doesn't get too cold. And dude, people would pull in their trucks. Everyone kind of had their own little pods they were quarantining with, and
Hmm.
just enjoy a show. You tune into like a radio station so you can hear it in the car, and a lot of fun, but definitely weird performance wise and adjustment because like
Okay.
you don't hear laughter on the stage. Like maybe you can hear a few cars chuckling up close, or like if people are in their truck beds, but a lot of fun, dude.
So are you planning any more coming up?
Chad and GT been doing some stuff at this place called the Drive. What's it called? Jam in the Van, dude, which is typically a
Okay.
music venue. And they do a show locals only, and I've been fortunate enough to guest on there. And I've been hitting that about once a month now, and it feels good just to get up because I mean, dude, it had been almost a year since I'd done stand up, and I've been doing it
Mm.
regularly for about 10 years, dude. So felt weird not doing it, but it was also a nice, healthy little break. And but yeah, dude, just doing those like probably about once a month, and been doing a few other outdoor shows, like backyard shows and stuff, which were kind of popular even before
Yeah.
COVID. Um, so they're fun, and now that summer's here or spring's here and summer's around the corner, it's like let's go, dude.
Well, these stand-up drive-in shows kind of make me really miss, or always interested in drive-in movies. I've never really had that personal experience of a drive-in movie, and it was really popular back in the day. But I'm always curious about these drive-in shows because I haven't experienced them over in South Florida. But I always think of like the drive-in movie experience.
Dude, totally, man. I remember going to a drive-in theater as a kid. Now I feel like every drive-in theater is a swap meet, and like it's like
Oh yeah,
the parking lot just has like grass growing through the
yeah,
freaking concrete, and you're like, all right, this is. It seems like ghosts are there now primarily, dude.
yeah.
Uh, but dude, I mean, honestly, like it's something that I start thinking about this. I'm like, even with coming out of quarantine, I'm like, when am I going to get back in a movie theater?
Oh yeah.
That might be one of the later things I do, and then that affects live comedy too. That's a theater going experience. So, but we're lucky we have the outdoor and drive-in. It'd be cool if drive-ins made a comeback, dude. I mean,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
fun way to go on a date.
Oh
It's
yeah.
everything comes back in style. So I'm hoping for it. But yeah, like you said, I never really got like a drive-in experience. Never went on a date. Basically, like
Yeah.
Grease, the movie was like the first time I saw a drive-in.
Well, I want to start off talking about your History is Dank podcast. Do you mind sharing what you discuss on your podcast?
Yeah, dude. Thanks for bringing it up. I'd love to discuss that, dude. It's yeah, history is dank, dude. It's just a fun exploration for me. I've always been a big history dude, and in order to create a future, let's check out the roads that have led us to this moment right now, and it's just basically all things history. I try to be as broad as I can with the subject matter, and it's kind
Oh
of
yeah.
fun for the audience. I'll discuss everything from like this past episode I did. Ching Shi, who's like this gnarly lady pirate, from around the turn of the century, like 1800 in China, and just like ruled a fleet of like 80,000 pirates, dude, and just stuff from that, everything from, figures to small moments on the Oregon Trail or, Apollo 8 mission. So just tackling fun subject matter, just, yeah, all things history, man. And I love it. Just about a fun way to gain knowledge, a few laughs along the way. Episodes are tight, 40 minutes to an hour.
One of my favorite episodes, which I thought was really interesting, is you were talking about beer pong, and I think you
Dude, yeah.
mentioned like it goes by another name somewhere else.
Beirut, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Why is it called Beirut? Dude, is this game founded in Lebanon, dude? I'm like, and what's that supposed to be? I don't know. I feel like that yuppies. I feel like dudes who wear two collar shirts at once call it Beirut only. You know, Other than that, it's Pong and or I like to say brew Pong even now. And then
Okay.
also just this thing of house rules, and you can basically learn tons of culture. It's basically the beer pong is your medium for learning about bros that surround that table. What's
Yeah.
their policy? Are they enforcing troll rules? And then basically I was just on a hunt to see where it got invented. And I think people would say like Bucknell and dudes were playing it in the 50s with like actual ping pong paddles, which is actually equates it more to a game now called Snappa or Beard Eye,
Hmm.
which is differentiated between whether you play it sitting or standing, often dictated by whether you're indoors or outdoors. And I love playing outdoors, on the cliffs of Santa Barbara, shirt off, sun-kissed shoulders, healthy buzz, and just, bumping some probably pro nail, some good house music, maybe some
Oh yeah.
reggae. Um, just yeah, man, it's a beautiful culture around beer pong.
So, what got you interested in starting a podcast talking about different topics of history?
You know, I was a history minor in college, but I didn't do one last unit because I wanted to rage my last semester, and I was like, I mean, never in my existence have I had to show anyone my college transcripts doing comedy. Like no one cares.
Yeah.
It's more of like, what have you created? What videos have you shot? A show that you've written on, or like, give me a writing packet, or just let me see your stand up material. So I was like, I knew I was going to try to pursue comedy coming out of college. And I was like, um, I wasn't worried about that last unit, but I always loved history, dude. I was an econ major only because it was broad, but I loved, I like traveling, and maybe like it was ingrained in me growing up. Every vacation that I took with my parents, and I was spoiled growing up in OC, dude. I've had a lot of brunch in my day, dude, and you know, everything was centered on like a museum or seeing something, and I think I just maybe started having an appreciation for that,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just fun, dude. I mean, I love trivia. I just love learning in a fun infotainment type way. That's low stakes where I don't have to pass a test. I love Dan Carlin. It's probably my favorite podcast. And I was like, if I'm going to start a podcast,
Yeah.
he's an autodidact, dude. I'm trying to get there, dude, as best I can. And yeah, just sort of was my natural interest. And I find that in all things, especially with comedy, like you got to do what's funny to you. I have to put out what's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the audience is going to be so aware that this is work and it's not fun. And like doing the podcast, and I'm sure you doing your show, it's just fun. You like meeting new people and
Yeah.
chatting, and so I think that's just the best method. Like if you're doing what you enjoy and passionate about, someone out there else there's going to pick up on those freaking dank vibes and enjoy it too.
So, how do you typically do your research for each topic you discuss during your podcast?
Typically, dude, it's an internet thing. I mean, I always visit good old trusty Wikipedia. Start there,
Yeah.
get the glean through that. Reddit is actually quite useful. You get,
Okay.
you got to look out for people who are like on it, like myself, amateur, and you might get some, disinformation there. But it's also fun when you get differing opinions and stuff, and you go. But honestly, like, dude, Britannica.org or the Guardian always has really fun articles. Articles are typically the best thing, but it's all online. I'm not cruising over to the Los Feliz public branch down there, and it's closed right now because of COVID. But sometimes a good book that I've read will make its way in there. Like my very first episode was about a Robert Kurson book called Pirate Hunters, and this it has this cool. They're looking for treasure, this buried ship. But the story around the ship is this pirate Joseph Bannister, and he had a really cool story. So I was like, oh, so it's just a really cool book that I read, and then did some peripheral research on that. But yeah, it's basically I don't want to get too in the pod information dense. I want to try to tell a
Yeah.
fun story,
Yeah.
deliver some fun information, but keep it entertaining. Like you're not going to pass a test listening to my pod, but you're also going to be a freaking fire
Oh yeah.
conversationalist.
Oh
You're going to
yeah.
be at the water cooler at work, dominating it. Just fun facts off the tip of your dome, dude. You're going to be at dinner, dude. You're going to meet the love of your life's father, dude. And you're going to be like, oh, really? You like talking about submarines, dude? Interesting. I got a story for you. Here you
Oh
go.
yeah.
You hear about this sunken U-boat? Let's go. U5, not U571, U6, U687, I think was a fun one. Another Robert Kurson book, dude. Pick up Robert Kurson. I'm all about that guy.
Okay. You talk about like reading books and you're recommending somebody, but I know that you're actually a Dan Brown fan, in which the Da Vinci Code is actually one of your
Bro,
favorite books.
I love that series. I think it goes back to me loving. Do you remember Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that show,
Oh
dude?
yeah.
Gumshoes, bro. Dude, and as a kid, I didn't quite understand it. I just remember like putting stuff on a map. Like I always loved like knowing where the capitals were.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be on that show so bad, bro, as a kid. Wanted to be a gumshoe. And then Dan Brown is basically like the adult version of like being a gumshoe. You know what I mean? I love in Robert Ludlum, that's Tom Hanks's character, is
Yeah.
like just friggin' fire at solving puzzles, has a photographic memory. I wish I had that. I don't. Slightly I do. Like whenever I remember something, I envision it.
Yeah.
I'll even test myself. Like I'll just stare at my closet, which is a mess, and I'll be like, I need to remember where everything is in that closet now. Like if I'm having trouble sleeping or whatever. Little insight into my weirdness. But yeah, man, I just love the way that people love conspiracies. People love the Rogan podcast because he cuts up about conspiracy and aliens. I mean, it's fun
Yeah.
to think about that stuff. The powers that be, cult stuff, the stone, Masons, and the fleur de lis wearing
Oh yeah.
dudes, and I just love even like the HBO miniseries, True Detective type stuff.
Oh yeah.
Using actual history to create a fun story off of it. But I think specifically the Da Vinci Code and even my boy Nick Cage in the National Treasure series, dude. I'll watch that. You put me on an airplane, I'll watch all of those things, dude. I'll just take a flight to crush those movies. I don't care where we're flying to. Get a CPK and fly right back to where I just got on board. And dude, a freaking barbecue, freaking CK at CPK. Um, but I just love learning, gaining some knowledge while being entertained. Super fun. Of course, Da Vinci Code gets quite conspiratorial, but honestly, like the way they tie everything together, like the believability factors there, um, just a lot of fun, dude.
Since you're big on movies as well, are you big on like movies on history?
Oh yeah, I love a period piece. I've seen Gladiator probably upwards of 28 times on TNT, commercials included. Don't
Oh yeah.
care if Braveheart's on TV. I watch 30 minutes out of respect. Don't care if I have to be at a wedding. Okay, I'm watching it, dude. And then in the podcast, fun. And a lot of YouTube videos do this, but they're like, oh, let's compare the historical accuracy of this movie to this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Like, I'll watch all those YouTube videos. I'm a sucker for
Okay.
that stuff. Um, and but yeah, dude, I love Sword and Sandal stuff. Let's go. Last Kingdom on Netflix, dude, for endorsement. Let's go. So, I mean, yeah, I find myself the Band of Brothers. I watch it once a year, typically around Christmas, and it's just, yeah, I love that. I love all that type of stuff. I mean, talking about T. Hanks, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, Captain Miller and his Bravian of eight. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You mentioned Nicolas Cage, so are you a big fan
Oh,
of him as well?
I love Cage, dude. The movie Con Air, dude. Whenever like everyone has that voice in their head that tells them what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Oh hey, I ordered a shot at the bar. I ordered 8 for my boys, but they gave me 9. Did they mean to do that? Am I going to rip this one or tell them? Then that Cage is in my head. Go ahead and rip it. Maybe they put it there on purpose. You got to enjoy yourself. You worked hard this week. Let's go. It's an extra shot of Jack. Go down the hatchet. Go back with your boys. Celebrate. Get a tasty buzz. That's my voice in my head is always Cage. So, I mean, I love him. I'm a huge Cage fan. Has he done some duds? Of course. But I just love that he brings it, dude. He brings it in everything. I would love to have the career trajectory of a Nick Cage. I mean, who wouldn't? Even duds included. He did so. Yeah, I love Cage, man. I swear by him. Con Air, Cameron Poe. I mean, I'd name my first kid Cameron Poe. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. Cameron can go both ways.
No, I love Con Air. I saw it when it first came out, and I would say that, I mean, that's definitely, I mean, one of my top favorite movies of all time, but it's definitely, like, my favorite movie from Nicolas Cage.
Dude, totally. And what a fun script. Like, there's a plane with all of America's worst criminals, and for some reason, we're putting them on there right now. And dude, it's just so amazing. And like, I love the nicknames that they have for each other. You know, you got Cyrus the
Oh, yeah.
Virus, Diamond Dog Dallas, Garland Green, dude, Steve Buscemi. I mean, just dude. I mean, Michael Bay, dude. That oh no, is that not Michael Bay? I think that might not be Michael Bay, but it has very Michael Bay vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and of course, circling back to Cage, The Rock, dude. I mean, bro, come on, tell me honestly, if I meet anybody, if I was owning a business, I don't care what it is. If I work for NASA and we got to pick our flight crew, like if you seen The Rock and if you say no, you're out. I don't care how qualified you are on the sticks.
Hey, Sean Connery was a badass on The Rock.
It's great. I think it was the last movie he did without a toupee on. People say that.
Okay.
Interesting. Or maybe it was the first one he did with it. I don't know. But yeah, Sean Connery kicks ass in that movie, dude. He's like heavily featured in that trailer. It's like he has no
Oh, yeah.
identity. He does not exist in Britain. He does not exist in America. This man, we're gonna have to. He stands for everything we're against, but we're gonna have to ask him to do us a favor to protect everything we love. Great trailer, dude. Classic lines.
You know, I'm surprised that they never made a sequel to, I mean, Con Air or The Rock, and I'm sure Nicolas Cage would, like, do awesome in either of those sequels.
I know. I would love it, dude. You just take like, and both of them are set up. Like, what do you do? Like the movie Speed, right?
Yeah,
Great movie. You put it on a cruise ship.
yeah,
Con Air. Okay, you got a plane. Great movie. Where do you put it next? You probably put it on a boat or something like that, or you put it in a different country, or you just flip flop, dude. Then you'd put Con Air in. I mean, what's another badass security prison? You do like a federal prison or a military prison. You know, yeah, dude. The script. Let's go, dude. Me and you should be writing this thing right now, dude. We'll be millionaires this time next year.
well, I already got a title for you. I'm thinking I'm going above what you were mentioning, Con Space, where they put everyone.
Oh, dude, genius idea. We put all the prisoners who are too bad for this earth. We exile them.
Oh,
We
yeah.
make them go. Maybe it's a work camp on space or something like that, or just a prison on space. Maybe they're doing crazy experiments on the prisoners. So the
Oh,
government's
yeah,
kind of bad. Nick Cage gets sent there for some reason because he's a good guy. He was defending his wife's honor,
yeah.
but he has to go to this moon base because it's deemed you need to do however many hours to give back to society by mining some more on the moon, and everything takes place from there, dude. He's got to break down the system from within.
It's gonna be hard to outdo, Cyrus the Virus. I forgot the actor.
Oh dude, Malkovich.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to outdo that because he was a great villain on Con Air.
He's the best, dude. John Malkovich is just the guy, brings it in everything. He's unreal, dude. And just the way he takes his time to pronounce every syllable, that's what makes him evil. Just, I have good diction, and therefore you are going to have to die.
I loved Steve Buscemi though in Con Air. He was awesome, and he didn't
All
even
time.
speak that much.
Dude, that scene with him and the little girl in like the drained pool. Any scene that takes place in a drained pool stakes. And yeah, dude, he's just sitting there singing, I got the whole
Oh yeah,
world. And then of course him with in the casino at the end, I'm feeling lucky. Yeah, dude.
oh yeah.
All time.
I want to talk about something that you have some videos out called the Dank Quest. So, do you want to share
Mhm.
what the Dank Quest is about?
Yeah, dude, the Dank Quest was basically sort of was just all about, me being like, I had friggin' a ton of tips, fat tips from Valet saved over, which was a bad call of me to put about, 8K into this project before COVID hit. Hired a director, got drones, dude, got all this good stuff. It was just me about like on a journey for Stoke because I get a lot of DMs being like, dude, Strider, you're a pretty stoked guy. Like, how do you do it? And I was like, well, let me put this out in a documentary. And we started filming that in February of 20, right before COVID, 2020, right? And then, or no, yeah, 2019, yeah, 2020. And then COVID hits and everything has to change. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to stop. And so it was going to be, I wanted to put it into festivals, dude, put it out there. and we just weren't able to get scenes that we wanted with, me being interacting in groups and meeting bros of
Yeah.
different, walks of life and sort of seeing what their take on Stoke is and everything. And so it just sort of became more of an internal journey of self-discovery, finding my
Okay.
place in, development of the podcast and everything, which I think was telling journey of people's COVID experience, people questioning their relationships. I was good on that end, but their careers and all that type of stuff. So it just sort of naturally became that, and then worked best um, in four parts, just because we weren't going to go any sort of festival submission route or anything. We're like, let's just put this out on Insta and YouTube, on the History is Dank YouTube channel and my Instagram, and it got a great response. And the trailer was badass. In the trailer alone, I was like, people were like, "Dude, is this gonna be a feature?" I'm like, "Dude, honestly, maybe it
Yeah.
should."
Has that got you interested in trying to produce more videos sometime in the future?
Yeah, dude, totally. I'm actually working on with the history podcast and everything. I want to do a like a discovery channel type show, and I've been researching with my buddies
Okay.
a lost Viking ship in the California desert. So we're going to go out and document that experience and sort of trying to locate it and see if there's any proof that it's out there and if it's a Viking ship. And it's just sick to think about, like, you know, how geography was different. Like, that's a California desert, but, thousands of years ago, there was water over that area. And it could be very plausible. These Norsemen, dude, they were cruising around the globe. They were in North America, like up by Newfoundland and New York and Canada, well before Columbus landed in the Caribbean area. So
Yeah.
um, just interesting to dissect that. And then it's always fun just to go hunting for stuff with your boys. It's basically a learning trip slash boys trip. So every episode. So yeah, dude, definitely going to be doing some more stuff.
Oh man, that's awesome. Or in the videos too, you discuss about being in the valet business. So what got you involved in the valet business?
So basically, I was like, dude, you know what? In college, out of high school, my first job, I was a cabana boy at the Marriott, dude. And we even faked that my buddy JT had a job there to get his dad off of his back. So I'd give him pay stubs and he'd change the name on Photoshop. And then one time he even came over and I gave him an extra uniform at work and he just hung out with towels in his hand when his dad wanted to visit us at work. It was gold, dude. I was like, dude, you've gone through more effort. We've got through more effort to fake that he had a job there than actually getting hired to having a job there. And so basically, like, since my first job was in hospitality, I kind of knew that industry. Also, I love cutting it up, dude, and meeting people, talking. Like, I'm very extrovert, so it was natural to who I was.
Mhm.
And JT and I did later work at Nordstrom in the stockroom together. That was tight. But more introvert style job. You're just counting SKUs. But then I saw how much fat tips the valets were making at the Marriott, and then I went off to college, UC San Diego, and I was like, summer job comes around, let's step it up. I'm applying at the Ritz, dude. Ballet, dude, you just make fat tips. It's nice, cash in hand. You're moving. It's active. So I had that, you know, protection, and then was just fire at it, and moved up to LA to do comedy with JT. And I was like, well, where's the best hotel in LA? Beverly Hills Hotel. Let's go, dude. And had valet experience, could drive stick shift, and the rest is history. And yeah, did that forever. Does take a pounding on the feet though. I'm not gonna lie. And dude, those
Okay.
cars are hot, dude, and like gnarly, but also like one of the worst jobs you could have for COVID. It's like, let me get in this car with the steering wheel you've been touching and sneezing in. So that got shut down real quick.
I thought I heard that Shaq's like a frequent customer.
Dude, yeah, Shaq's the best, bro. Shaq's the man. Mr. O'Neill. He knows me because with Chad and JT, we've done this like Joel video where I went to get a a book signed by Joel, dude, and I used my Joel Osteen looks, dude. I even have a disgusting mullet right now, which you can
Oh
see
yeah.
that I'm rocking, for when I would do whip out the Joel impression. I like to call him Joel Stokestein when I do it, dude. It's all about boosting that stoke, dude.
Yeah.
And so Shaq saw that video, and so he'd come in and he'd be like, in his classic deep Shaq voice, he'd go,
Yeah.
Joel. And I look at him and go, bless you, Mr. O'Neill. And then, and so, dude, I would like to say Shaq knows me by a first name basis, but it's just the wrong
Okay.
first name. So I'll take it, dude.
As long as Shaq can recognizes you when he sees you, like
Dude, it was amazing, bro. He was at the Grove, which is like a popular like mall movie theater in LA next to like a farmer's market touristy spot. And I was coming down the escalator there, and he was there doing like some sort of promotional gig, like autographs or whatever. And I'm at eye level with him because I'm on the escalator and he's gigantic. And he literally looks over in the middle of the scene and he goes, Joel. And I was like, dude, what up? It was amazing. I was like, bless you. Came over, dude. He said, said hi. It was pretty awesome, dude. He's a good dude.
And isn't Stevie Wonder also like a fan of your impersonation as well?
Dude, Stevie Wonder. That's when I knew. I mean, Stevie Wonder, he's does not have the blessing of sight that we all have and take for granted, and but he's got an ear, and
Yeah.
that's when I knew my Joel impression was passing because I went up and did the voice, and he goes, "That's pretty good." It was amazing,
Oh
dude.
man.
Because his like I think it was his I don't know maybe his daughter or somebody was with him, some family member or friend who saw the video, and I guess Stevie's a fan of the actual Joel, and came over and she's like, "This he looks just like Joel. He's the one who did the impression. He's like, you listened to the video," and then I did it, and then he was like, "That's pretty funny," and then I did a joke and I was like, "And if you'd like to give a donation to the church, my hand is out right now," and he goes, "That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good." So that was cool.
We talked about Shaq and Stevie Wonder, but you also got a chance to maybe make a scene in an episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. So, did you get a chance to meet Seinfeld and Kevin Hart when they did that episode over there?
I did, dude. It was brief, and it was that the Porsche that how Seinfeld always brings in like a cool car or whatever for the episode. He had the loudest Porsche that apparently had trouble starting that day.
Okay.
So he came in, so it was tough to talk to them and stuff because the engine had to be on. It was like a race car engine. It was like, so I met him briefly. Basically, they were just like, "Oh, thank you so much," like this and that. And they like for the show had us, hold off some other cars, like direct them into like the other lane so that
Okay.
Seinfeld could pull up very comfortably in his car with Kevin Hart and pick him up. And I parked. Actually, Kevin Hart came in a Ferrari earlier,
Oh,
um, so like to stage that they were meeting him at the hotel, and I parked his Ferrari and then got the door for Seinfeld and stuff. And like I just made sure to like move into every shot or whatever, while getting the door. It was hilarious, dude. He also did another episode there too.
okay.
I wasn't in it. Another buddy was, but he picked up I think Dana Carty there one time.
It's pretty
But I
awesome that you were in Kevin Hart's Ferrari. I'm sure you probably like really just sat there for a good minute or two and just embraced it. Like, wow.
dude, it's crazy. The proximity, dude, so close in proximity yet so far in actuality. Yeah, man, I've parked Jamie Foxx's Bugatti. That was sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Um, it's cool, dude. Shaq's car is always tough to drive because he's gigantic, dude. And I'm no, I'm not tiny. I'm 6'3", but I'm still up on the seat trying to reach the pedal.
I thought I heard something about like him getting the wrong car at some point.
Yeah, dude. My buddy Evan, dude. He's like a valet veteran there, dude. And he trained me, dude. And I wasn't there on this shift, but um, the owner of the valet company drove like a very similar looking black Benz that Shaq had.
Hmm.
And Evan wanted to be like extra helpful for Shaq, and he sees him, and so he like ran and got his car real quick so he could like have it ready for him right away and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Shaq, you're the best." He's a huge Lakers fan, so he like really likes him. And Shaq's like, "All right, cool, thanks, man." Like gets in the car and then starts driving and probably like got like out of the driveway and then came like around the block because he probably couldn't move his seat back far enough because he has like extra track to
Yeah.
move it back. And he comes back and he's like, "This isn't my car." And he goes, "Come here," to the valet that gave it to him. And he goes, "All right, turn
Yeah.
around." And he spanked him. Don't do that again. But like, sounds like tonally, Shaq handled that very, very well. And
Yeah.
like everyone was dying laughing. It was gold. So funny, dude. And Shaq noticed it was no harm, no foul.
Oh yeah. Something interesting that I found out that you do that I'm actually really interested as well is that you're actually into yoga. So what got you interested in doing yoga?
Dude, my freaking dank fiance. So originally, I liked lifting weights. Yoga for me, my patience wasn't there. But then she introduced me to yoga with Adrian, and I just love like those online videos. You can do your practice from home. I mean, I've only been in the studio a handful of times, all with
Mhm.
my dank fiance, and it's nice getting in the studio, of course, but like being able to do it at home and just yeah, man, it just feels so good stretching out. And I'm very novice. Like I'm not good, dude. Like I need a block, I need a blanket. Like let's go. But you just feel nice after it, and it helps
Yeah.
those feet out from doing valet. How are you in your practice? Are you solid, dude? Can you do a handstand, a
Oh, I'm
headstand?
not I'm not that far yet. I mean, I'm still a novice myself, but I'm actually interested, and I was planning to do it right before COVID happened, and hopefully at some point do it, is actually get certified in it, only because I have back problems, so that I it's not really a choice for me to stretch my body out, because I really make it a requirement to at least try to either do it every day or every other day or something like that. But I would like to be certified to it in it, just to kinda do classes and do it with other people.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be
Yeah.
fire. I would come and take your class if you get certified. Dude, my sister used to date this like Bikram instructor who's like nationally like super legit. His name was Paul, and he's always been like, dude, get you like shredded, dude. And
Okay.
I remember even being a young like my sister's older than I am. Like when she was dating this dude as like a junior in high school, I was like in maybe I don't know middle school or something. But I remember seeing him being like, that's a sexy ass dude. I was like, this dude's too hot for my sister, dude. And, my sister, she's fine, nice lady, smart, dude, cute. And, but I was like, this guy's sexy as hell. And then there you go, dude. Straight up Bikram yoga. Like, he's big. He like goes to Hawaii and leads like clinics, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yoga will get you shredded alone, like, n
it
not
will,
even doing weights, just yoga alone.
dude. You do hold some of those poses for a while. You're
Oh, yeah.
dripping sweat, dude. It's gnarly. It's gnarly, dude. And that's the thing, dude. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna get in the gym and build muscle, and that's good.
Yeah.
But you got to have that flexibility and that
Yeah.
balance along with that strength.
I say that flexibility would help you in the long run, like, when you get older and stuff like that, like, I mean, it's nice to, like, do the weightlifting, but your body needs to be mobile, in the future.
Totally. That's what they say. Like speaking of big men playing basketball, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like he was big into yoga and stuff, and like
Okay.
his career, he played a long time, and at that size, avoided injury because he was doing that. He was stretching. He was into it way before, just like naturally into it. And now it's like part of the workout regimen for top athletes. Pilates, yoga, all that type of stuff. And yeah, man, I think even whenever I get stiff, I hate it, dude. Waking up creaky and cracky in the
Oh, yeah.
joints. I'm like, no, I gotta do some yoga.
Oh, yeah.
You
You
know,
have a favorite, like, yoga pose?
I would probably say, you know what I love, dude? I love sitting pretzel leg, just sitting pretzel, and my feet, dude. I always get like my feet, like where the calf is and everything. Like child's pose can bother me sometimes, dude. If I hold it too long, like down by the
Mm,
feet, I really need to work on that. But so I like sitting pretzel leg, taking my elbow, I don't know what it's called, touching it to the ground, and then just leaning over
mm.
and just stretching all of that. I love it, dude. I don't remember know what it's called. It's not specific, but pretzel leg with a nice lean, dude. Stretch out those hips, all on the side. Yeah, hits the IT band, gets my feet a little bit. I love it, dude.
Oh, yeah, man. I love yoga. I gotta get into deeper, like, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I'm just a novice at it, but it's something that I really would like to explore more in.
What's your favorite pose?
I like there's this one, it makes me feel like I'm flying. It's like I'm standing, but I put one leg up and I kinda like doing a Superman pose.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like I'm just on one leg, but at the same time, it's like I forget that I'm on, one leg because
Dude,
it
I
really.
think I love that, dude. There's some science behind that stuff, dude. There's this
uh,
dude in San Diego. He was like a retired neurologist, and he rollerblades like that. He like does that pose that you're talking about on rollerblades because he says like not everyone can do it, but he's like figured out how to do it. Of like, and I think it happens in yoga where like like it unlocks a part of your brain where like you have this sensation of gliding, like weightlessness in it. And he
Mm.
does that while rollerblading. This dude's gnarly, dude. He's risking getting hit by a freaking bus or a tourist in one of those like, pedal bikes that are like cars. But yeah, dude, hell yeah,
Since we're wrapping up, is there anything you would like to share with our listeners?
dude, just freaking stay fired up, man. Break a sweat, gain some knowledge, dude. Tuning into history is dank, of course. Endorsement, what up? Um, Fired up to be on the Irie Chat, dude, and Joel. It's amazing meeting you, dude. And so yeah, man, just freaking get out there and try something a little bit different, dude. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space, dude. That's all I'm saying, dude. Just stay stoked.
Yeah.
I think today's National Beer Day, the day we're recording this. So I'm gonna have an
Oh,
IPA
nice.
later. Yeah,
I'm big on hard cider, so I think I'm gonna grab a nice, good hard cider.
dude, I love a nice hard cider, a dry. I like it drier. A buddy of mine got me into the ciders. What's your go-to brand?
I'm pretty basic on an Angry
Okay, yeah, Angry
Orchard,
Orchard, yeah,
but I've had like different. I've tried different varieties, but I would say that's the main brand I like. But I've had like a good German cherry cider because I like to try different kinds of cider. And
yeah,
some ciders are freaking amazing.
dude. The cider stuff just needs to. Everyone's all big on the hard seltzers right now. Ciders will have its day in the sun, and
Oh
and
yeah,
we'll be on the ground floor because
oh yeah,
I love them, dude. Dude, yeah, man, this has been a fire chat, dude. I'm like, let's go, dude. I'm next time maybe we got to crack a cider on the air. I don't
oh
know if
yeah,
that's
oh yeah.
what you do, but maybe I'll do it. We're at home, not driving anywhere.
Well, maybe we'll do it in person and have some ciders together.
Dude, that would be great. I'd love to come out to Florida. You're out in Florida, right?
Yep.
Oh, dude, I'd love to come out there, dude. I love Florida.
Oh yeah.
Freaking straight up Miami, dude. Even though I know it's got its own vibe, but um, I'd love to see some more of that state, dude.
Oh yeah.
Maybe hit a Jacksonville Jaguars game for no reason.
Oh yeah. Appreciate this conversation and I just enjoy this chat with you. But Strider Wilson, thank you so much for joining us in Irie Chat and best of luck on everything.
Thank you, Joel. It's been a pleasure, man. You too.